1st of May, big week for the financial markets as we wait for the rate decision from the FOMC on Wednesday. Let's see if we can find some trading opportunities. I always start with gold, one of my favorite markets, but it's been just really tough. This is the 1 hour chart. For at least the last 2 weeks, we've just been in this sideways chop. We do have an upper trend line, which certainly worked the last time it was tested up here at around 2007. So that should be a resistance level, support level down around 1975. The problem is in the middle of here, I really don't know what to do. There are no trading opportunities which I would be jumping at. You can see the moving averages are confirming the fact that we're just moving sideways. The red 200, the blue 100 touching now. Even looking at the slightly bigger picture, we still don't have a decent trend to follow other than sideways, of course. I could argue perhaps that's a head and shoulders pattern. So a break below 1975, 1970 could be quite negative. A similar picture for silver. Obviously, we were in a bull trend moving up here throughout March. And then by the time we got to mid-April, trading sideways in a really narrow range. I've been buying at support levels, and we've got a good support level around 24.70, 24.60. That certainly has worked. Fib level, trend line, the Bollinger Bands on my 4 hour chart are adding some extra support down there. Hopefully when the breakout comes, we'll get a really decent move. I feel quite bullish in silver, more bullish than I do in gold. But then, of course, if gold does break that lower trend line, I'm sure it will drag silver down with it. This is the dollar index on the hourly chart. You can see that going back 5 weeks, we've just been, again, in this horrible sideways chop. Very difficult for me to find low risk trading opportunities. So we've got a trend line going back to the 23rd of March on the upside. Resistance for the dollar index at around 102.00. Trend line support around 101.09. Aussie dollar, we've broken out of this channel. We were moving sideways for such a long period of time. I'm taking this as a sell signal. We have seen some moves to the downside, but we keep bouncing. Really frustrating trading these markets at the moment. We're just getting some momentum to the downside and then boom, big recovery. If you're swing trading, you have to be so patient. You've got to run positions for days before you see any profit. This is the New Zealand versus the US dollar for 2023 so far. So we've got an upper trend line from this channel, a lower trend line from that channel. And then within that channel, we've got this sideways move. Again, it's all about the trend lines. The moving averages actually haven't been too bad on this 4 hour chart. The red 200 period would have been a support level here, a resistance level here. And as we went down, then it failed, but it started working again a little bit as a support and resistance level. The blue 100, probably a little bit more reliable, actually, if you were trying to trade. Buying at the blue with a fairly wide stop would have worked, and then selling it up here would have worked. But it's not the kind of strategy that I'm looking to trade. Not really clear enough from me. Resistance up there around 63.00, support around 61.10. Inside of that, I wouldn't really be doing anything. Right, instead of me showing you endless sideways markets, and believe me, I could make a 3 hour video on sideways markets right now. Let's have a look at some markets that are actually trending. The euro versus the US dollar has been in a bull trend now for about 6 months. And we are still in a little shorter term bull trend from the beginning of March. The Fibonacci levels are a great tool when you've actually got a market that's either trending up or down. So are the moving averages. And by the way, I am going to build up a little library of videos showing you how I use these tools. So they'll be coming out within the next couple of months. Taking the Fibonacci low from the middle of March, we've got a nice support level around 109.60. If you're a subscriber, you were buying down there on Friday and that worked really well. Combined with the 100 period moving average on the 4 hour chart, giving some extra support down there at 109.70, 109.50 was my support level. Now the trend line's up at 109.90. I would suggest that the support is around 109.90, 109.70. Below 109.50 would actually be a sell signal because, of course, that little uptrend would have been broken. Cable, pound versus dollar, it really is trying so hard to break higher. We've got to get through this trend line. It's only a 1 month trend line. It's not that big a deal, but we're really struggling to get through it. We've got to get through 125.90 if you're going to have a buy stop to enter order. I really think that cable wants to make a decent move to the upside. I've had us buying into GBP CAD and also GBP Aussie dollar. I'm actually still running along in the GBP CAD. And hopefully, if you're a subscriber, you're still running along in the GBP Aussie as well on these breakouts. And that one's doing really well. We're about 300 pips up if you're still long. The euro's been quite strong against the Aussie, very strong against the yen, especially with that dovish sentiment coming out of the Bank of Japan last week. That helped the euro push even higher against the yen. Euro versus the New Zealand dollar is also in a bull trend. If you're looking for trends to jump on, euro pairs and sterling pairs are in bull trends that you might want to look to buy into a dip to a support level, as we're seeing here actually in the euro versus the New Zealand. That's the swing trade opportunity for you. Okay, that's it for me for now. I'll have a look at some stock markets and I'll make a video on those too.